Wow. Also wurde die von der Schlange gebissen.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Was da?
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Krass. Kann man sich auch bücken? Nee. Hätte ich jetzt auch zur Katze.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Wo ist eigentlich die Katze? Ich habe doch gerade eine gehört. Das wird dann wohl Edith sein.
I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
Das. So. Die ganzen toten Wellensittiche. Uff. Rob, Bob. Nee, das ist eine Schlange. Hä? Hat die da eine Schlange drin gehabt? Oh Gott. Kein Wunder, dass die gestorben ist.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Louis
Die
died a week before we
Trostbildnerin.
left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Wow. Na, sie scheint ja eine ordentliche Weitsicht gehabt zu haben. Sind das die ganzen toten Kinder? Melden, Edith. Edith? Edith?
room was like a museum.
Odin.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johann.
Ah, wir sind also
On
verflucht.
January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Ach, das
Odin's
ist das
daughter
versuchte
Edith,
Haus.
with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Ach, das ist das neue Haus. Hm. Wie komme ich hier wieder raus? Aha.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Also Odin ist der Familienvater. Oder war. Und der ist mit dem Schiff untergegangen. Oh, die Details, die gefallen mir.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Ja. Ja. Drachen tötet Finch. Out 1937. Aaron Finch. Ach, Sven.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Okay, es scheint also in Norwegen zu spielen. Ach, das ist das fluffige Klo.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Es ist pink.
It was a pretty big trace.
Ja. Und was haben wir gesiffelt? Auf dem Klo. Wie bei meiner Oma, die hat auch einen Stuhl. Noch irgendwas?
There's a secret in this bathroom.
Okay.
It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Ah, cool. Ist das ein
Sven gave
Darkroom?
Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Entschuldigung. Scheiße. Kamera? Ja. Ach, das ist das Zimmer mit den beiden Brüdern. K wandelt Land in einen natürlichen Himmel. Kommando zu. Okay, dann war ein Science-Fiction-Fan. Odin Finch Nationalpark. Schön Camo. Trotzdem. Ja, was haben wir da? Hat gerne fotografiert und gerne geraucht. Hm. Bis 68 haben sie sich gemessen. Okay. 1950 bis 18 war das Sam. Carbon. 61. Ist Sam gestorben? 83. Ja, 61. Da hört's auf.
I knew Grandpa
Ey,
Sam had a
wie cool das
twin,
gemacht ist.
and that he never talked about him.
Cooles Zimmer, so eins will ich auch. Oh, dann gehen wir mal in den Kommandoraum.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Houston, wir haben ein Problem. Oh. Was hat der gemacht? Bestimmt ein Raumschiff gebaut und ist abgestürzt.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
Ja,
At
nett.
Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready.
Ja, ich komme.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
maybe if the
Yeah.
wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I
Oh.
doubt it.
Das klingt nicht gesund.
I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Boah. Und nochmal. Ja. Okay, ich glaube, das reicht.
Trying to fly.
Ja.
And he did.
Ja.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar.
Rip
When I
Calvin.
was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.